Sudanese military leader General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan says the army is stepping back from political talks, clearing the way for political and revolutionary groups to form a transitional government. Ndiho has more.
Sudan's military leader Abdel Fattah al-Burhan has announced that the army will make way for a civilian government and would not participate in national talks facilitated by the United Nations and regional blocs. Al-Burhan says the decision was taken to make room for political and revolutionary forces and other national factions to form a civilian government. The move comes months after the October coup ousted civilians from a transitional administration.
It was decided, first, the non-participation of the military institution in the current negotiations, which are facilitated by the tripartite mechanism, to make room for political and revolutionary forces and other national factions to form a civilian government of independent national competencies.
Widespread international condemnation and aid cuts followed the overthrow, the latest in the impoverished northeastern African country. Burhan's televised announcement surprised anti-coup demonstrators, hundreds of whom were on the fifth day of sit-in.
After the formation of the executive government, the Sovereignty Council will be dissolved, and a Supreme Council of the Armed Forces and the Rapid Support Forces will be formed to assume the supreme command of the regular forces and be responsible for security and defense tasks.
Pro-democracy medics say 9 demonstrators lost their lives, bringing to 114 the number killed in the crackdown against anti-coup protesters since October. The United Nations Human Rights Commission says some 335 have been arrested. In the weeks following the coup, the military and civilian leaders promised to hold general elections in July 2023. Sudan's leading civilian players had boycotted the talks with the military leaders launched under the international auspices last month to restore the transition. The United Nations, the African Union, and the regional bloc Intergovernmental Authority on Development facilitated the dialogue. Burhan did not clarify the scope of the army's role in politics, but he says it will be committed to implementing the outcomes of the talks, which the UN and the African Union support. Ndiho, VOA News.